This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. For information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. Hello and welcome to the Research Talks podcast here on Stockbox with Alan Green. Alan, it's good to be talking to you again. We are recording on a Sunday today, and it's a misty Sunday over here in The Hague. What's it like over with you? We were blessed with good weather yesterday, though. What was it like for your weekend?
Almost exactly the same, Mark. And yep, good to be here, and all the best to you and yours. It's a lovely Sunday here. Again, very misty, very autumnal. You know, it's very typical of the time of year. So, and at about 4 p.m, it starts to get damp, doesn't it? You know, the dew just descends down and settles on the ground, but the weather's lovely, and popped out last night, had a nice meal at a local hostelry, which was good. So, but I thought to myself, well, as I'm on the podcast tomorrow, I better not drink too much. So I did limit my consumption last night, and I was driving too. So.
Oh, well, yes, of course, got to be sensible, Yeah, that my dad always says falling damps, that's what comes around this time of year. Falling damps. We'll be sat outside around the dinner table and he'll be like, oh, it's falling damps. I don't know if that's a Cornish phrase or whatever, but yes, it means the dew is settling in early and it's time to get inside.
Yes, indeed, yes. Yes, yeah. The dew is settling indeed.
Indeed. Yeah. Okay, well, today you're going to be talking to us about Coinsilium and Altona rare earths. So you wanted to kick us off with Coinsilium.
Yeah, Coinsilium. So Coinsilium, of course, is dual listed. It's listed on the Aquis Exchange, and of course, Mark, we've spoken about the Aquis Exchange and just how they really, how the backdrop and the scene is really changing for retail investors and the opportunities that it's creating for small companies. And of course, Coinsilium are an Apex classified company on the Aquis Exchange, which means they have a growth prospectus. 25% of the shares are in public hands. They adhere to the QCA and a raft of other stuff. But they've had a very, very busy year. Very positive from so many angles. And of course, the shares traded as high as 35p, I think 35-40p back in March, April this year, on the back of an improvement in their investments. And of course, the crypto that they have invested or they're invested into rose in value, and indeed Bitcoin is rocketing again now. So that will increase the value of their crypto holdings. Shares are currently trading at just under 8p, and of course, the company recently raised a sum of money to invest into its projects. It raised 1.1 million, and the money's being invested into a number of projects that I'm going to go through with you now. So of course, Eddie Travier is the CEO, and Eddie is a long-term investor and player in the crypto space. He launched Seedcoin years ago. He's launched several well-known products in the crypto space, and also has a great deal of private equity experience in the sector. Of course, Malcolm Palley, who you spoke to last week, is the chairman and co-founder. He's also, of course, director of Mining Maven, and has been involved in a number of other projects in the field. Federica Velado, she's a lawyer. She came onto the board recently. Of course, the board most recently appointed Wayne Almeida to the board, and they're adding to their staff and the team as they go forward. Of course, Coinsilium is also invested on the OTC market. CINGF is the EPIC code there, and it's currently with that just under 8p. It's trading with a market cap of 13.5 million. Of course, it was the first ever IPO on blockchain in 2015, and it's undergone a number of changes since then. But its mission is a blockchain, open finance, and crypto finance venture builder. It is, of course, engaged with Endorse in building and of course, Nifty Labs, the joint venture between Coinsilium and Endorse, is building the NFT marketplace. We've spoken about NFTs many times, and of course, we both hold these stamps, the Gibraltar crypto postage stamps that Coinsilium or the Coinsilium team helped to build and launch earlier this year, back in May, and they're developing a new marketplace to I think it's been described, the evolution of NFTs has been described as probably at just past the dial-up internet stage at the moment. So it's still the operation of some of the existing NFT marketplaces is quite clunky and not that intuitive. It's hoped that the Nifty Labs NFT marketplace will change all of that and just create a seamless user experience, which of course is very important for buyers wanting to purchase these NFT items which are out there in the ether. The main difference is that, of course, it'll be the first marketplace to be integrated with the RSK blockchain, which will create, in effect, or help to create a bridge, so holders of Bitcoins can seamlessly jump onto the Nifty Labs platform, the NFT marketplace, and can purchase NFTs through Bitcoin. And of course, at the moment, it's just facilitated purely through Ethereum. So that's going to be a huge change because Bitcoin, in terms of branding in the crypto market, it's still the biggest cryptocurrency by a huge margin, and of course that's the one the uninitiated look in crypto, they will have heard of Bitcoin, they may have heard of Ethereum, but Bitcoin is the first port of call. So by doing that, it's going to open up the opportunities in NFTs to an immeasurably larger marketplace. So that's one of the key projects Coinsilium are involved in, and we're going to hear more about that from Eddie Travia in the coming months. Of course, the company, as I said, they raised 1.1 million recently. They're well funded to undertake all this work, and they announced their interim results recently. With the fundraising, with the cash already at hand, they've got just under 1.9 million cash as at the end of the interim period, and the cryptocurrency is currently worth probably in the region of 2 million. So that gives them a nice, healthy balance, and it means they're funded really for the upcoming projects. The gain over the period was some 800,000 on the investments made, and as I mentioned just now, of course, the movement in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency will probably mean that that crypto balance will increase significantly going forward. So that's the NFT marketplace. They're involved in a number of other projects. There's an avatar project they've just launched called Blockbots, and this is it's not a Coinsilium project. It's been launched by Endorse with Coinsilium helping to advise on the sale and token model. And of course, the main difference between we see a number of these projects, avatar projects, being launched. The other avatar collections out there, Blockbots is going to be part of a larger ecosystem where basically NFT holders can earn peripheral NFTs and also use the Endorse token to trade the NFTs. So it opens up to a broader marketplace. We're going to hear more about that going forward. Something else Malcolm mentioned, which is I think key to Coinsilium's future direction, and really defines where the business is going to be heading in the future. The company invested $500,000 into Greengage, which is a digital merchant bank in the DeFi space, based in Gibraltar. And of course, we've spoken before about Gibraltar, and Gibraltar is a very forward-thinking environment, and administration there are very pro the crypto finance business, and they're working with various leaders in the space to help to develop the legislation, which is going to be key to integration into mainstream going forward. And I think, in your recent interview with Malcolm, Malcolm sort of articulated this point. There are a huge range of DeFi commercial products and solutions that Greengage plan to develop, and of course Coinsilium will they'll be exposed to that through their investment. And I think one of the key areas is that, of course, when it comes to decentralized finance, at the moment it benefits the crypto industry, but not necessarily the mainstream finance industry. And there's the prospect now that with the sort of products that Greengage and Coinsilium are looking at, that you could have P2P lending, for instance, on offer to people who want to borrow money. So they could appear on a platform of P2P lenders. And of course, you could see wallets with other financial products also using DeFi as well. And one of the other areas, of course, is security, because I think crypto, or the crypto area, rightly or wrongly, has attained something of a reputation as being a channel and a conduit for criminal money, and of course money that's funding terrorism. And one of the areas that one of the product areas Greengage will be focusing on is using its technology to insert something into wallets so it can identify these transactions and obviously alert the authorities or play a role in stopping that from happening. So as the marketplace matures and develops, Greengage, and also the environment it's based in, which is Gibraltar, they're going to help shape the future of financial legislation internationally, and of course the way these transactions take place going forward. So Coinsilium have invested $500,000. They've taken 300,000 in equity and provided 200,000 into a convertible loan note, which will be converted at the first or the next funding round that Greengage raises some more funds. So it's Greengage is moving towards a banking license in Gibraltar, which will be a landmark moment for the industry. So I think, in summary, if we look at the Coinsilium investment opportunity, it has exposure to its existing crypto finance. It has exposure to the future of the DeFi and crypto finance industry through Greengage and also through its own efforts. It has an NFT marketplace coming on stream, and knowing Malcolm and the team, I'm sure there'll be other areas that they're involved in too. And let's not, of course, forget the recent NFT hackathon that the company was involved in, which is a global hackathon where all developers come together and work on projects and develop ideas. So from this brain think tank, if you like, there will be other projects and ideas and opportunities for Coinsilium to earn going forward. So I think it's very well funded. It's got a great spread of investments and is exposed to a great number of opportunities in the crypto and the DeFi space. And I think at the current market cap of just 13.5 million, there's the upside opportunity on offer is tremendous.
I think as well the key here is they are well funded, isn't it? They do have a lot of capital now behind them, a lot of firepower to go and do something with. That will only have improved recently from the interims, just with the crypto market as it is. So if that continues and we have this sort of other kind of bull run in the cryptos, then that only improves. And if they can liquidate some of that perhaps, and it gives them an even more firepower. So that is key, because that's not something you often find, is it, that a company actually has, cash in the bank, and significant cash in the bank as well.
Well, I think that's where Malcolm and the team have been very careful, and it's because the industry, it's they're pushing the envelope. The technology is developing all the time, and new ideas, and also means of resolving challenges, which of course is where the hackathons come in. These opportunities suddenly develop, where instead of going three sides of a square, you can go straight across one side and save time, money, and also create a simple solution to resolving what on the face of it was a pretty complex problem. And that's what the team what the team are doing going forward. So I do think that they're uniquely placed, and I'm excited to see what the Greengage investment they've made will deliver. Because Gibraltar's an exciting place to be right now. If you're in the DeFi or the crypto space, they are very much pushing the envelope and creating the legislation and the opportunities that come with that going forward.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Okay, thank you very much. So let's move on to Altona Rare Earths. Then what can you tell us about Altona? They're coming to the main market, aren't they, very soon?
Well, they are. In fact, I think it was due, I think, at the end of September. But I know, from other companies having moved from Aquis to main market in the past, that process can sometimes take a little longer than you expect. But nonetheless, it is imminent. And of course, Altona, they're currently trading with a market cap of just 3.5 million. So it's that's almost just funding, keep the lights on, and hold a license. There's no premium for the upside potential from the team that they've put together, and also, of course, the projects they've invested into. And shares are currently trading at 12p, which is it's a bit of a floor for the stock, because of course the money that was raised was done so at that point. And of course they announced in the results announcement last month they had raised 1.1 million, and that was and the money's been utilized throughout the year with the other sums they've raised to invest into and look at developing a series of rare earth projects throughout Africa. The company courses CEO is Christian Taylor Wilkinson, who has a background in IR, but a very strong and deep understanding of the mining and the rare earths industry. And of course, Martin Woods is the chairman and CEO. He's also chief executive of ASX listed Koji Iron. And then they put a team together over the year. Audrey Matupi, who's the CEO of a system logic business in Africa, and she sits on many boards across Africa. She's a non-exec. And Cedric Simonet, who's recently been promoted to chief ops officer. He is formerly worked as a geologist with Sadra and Fluorspar, and is on the Kenya mining committee. And Cedric has a deep understanding of what is now the Monte Moyambi project, which of course was a former Fluorspar project, and it was his, I think, recommendation that the company push forward on this, which has prompted the recent announcement that the company have decided to invest into and bring the Monte Moyambi project in-house. Now, this is one of several that also were looked at and discussed earlier this year. The Nankoma Rare Earths project that was rejected, but Monte Moyambi is based in the Tete province in northwest Mozambique. As I said, it's on a former Fluorspar mine with 165 drill holes over some 12,000 meters. The company's already, or the previous drilling intersected rare earth intersections in at least 4 areas. And of course, rare earth metals have a vast range of applications, and these applications range from defense, the defense industry, the clean energy industry, wind turbines. They're also key parts of the new battery and EV technology going forward too. And there is whilst rare earths do occur quite frequently, they tend to be sparsely spread. So it's very hard to find an area where rare earths are concentrated together in one place. And of course, where they are, then that becomes very valuable indeed. And through the due diligence they've undertaken, the Monte Moyambi opportunity seems to offer that sort of prospectivity. So with the work that's already been done there and the historical geology that's been reviewed by the team, some 4.5 meters was surveyed at and delivered a total of 2.5% total rare earth oxides, and a much larger area, 96 meters surveyed, came in at 2.2% total rare earth oxide, and this was all on the surface. So that's highly significant and is a real concentrate of rare earths, unlike the normal disposition where they can be found sort of here and there, but not in commercial quantities. So there's potential to develop an open pit mine in there, and certainly Cedric has been quoted on record as saying he believes this is one of the top rare earth projects in Africa. So back to the announcement in August. The company said, of course, it was aiming to get this LSE listing by the end of September and make that transition. And of course, when it does that, Aquis has done a great job for the company thus far, but it's undergone a restructuring from offloading some historical assets late last year, and once that the LSE listing has been completed, then of course it will be opened up to as investment opportunities to funds and many other investors worldwide. So the next steps of the company are to they appointed a fellow called Louis Veloso as the project manager for Monte Moyambi, and Louis has also worked with Cedric in the past. He's on the board of the Mozambique Geology and Mine Association, so very well versed in local procedures and local processes, and we're expecting to hear more from the initial work at Monte Moyambi in the next few days. And the company's worked fast as well. It took a while with the restructuring for the full year results to be published, but they published the interim results just over 30 days from the year end. So that's really strong progress, and it also throws down a marker going forward for the way the company intends to run the business with a very clear and strong corporate governance process in place. So the process with the Monte Moyambi agreement is that it will it's paid 1% on the signing, and phase one is a £40,000 payment and 1 million shares in Altona Rare Earths. That gives the company 20%. Within 8 months, it'll acquire 51%, and that's a further 40,000, a further 1 million shares in Altona Rare Earths, and then phase three is an investment of 160,000, a further 1 million shares. And that's within 2 years, and that'll take it up to 70% ownership of the project. The company is also looking at a second project. In fact, it's looking at 3 further rare earth projects, but it's also one that's been working on for a while. Is the Chambray project, and they're awaiting the current owner, Akaswari, to confirm the Malawi government approval of its exploration license. So if that license is approved and the due diligence that they've undertaken bears out the initial findings from the preliminary examination of the opportunity, then it's likely that Chambray could be signed once the LSE listing has been completed. But either way, go back to the actual value at the moment, it's worth just 3.5 million. And I think, given where we are with many mining companies at this juncture, there's an awful lot more value there in the project already than is currently being reflected in the share price.
Mm-hmm. And that listing any day then, I guess?
Yeah, it's imminent. I mean, the thing is that were there any serious delays, then the company, and particularly given their corporate governance code and the way they are, Christian is running their business, they would have announced that to the market. So I don't believe it's a significant delay. But as I say, I've worked with other companies in the past that have been Aquis listed and have made that transition. And often 1 week can mean 3 weeks, and 1 month can mean 2 or 3 months. So I'm not saying that I'm not making any suppositions at all in this case, but I think the company would already have announced to the market were there any serious delays in prospect.
Yeah, I would have thought so as well. But I'm looking forward to that, because I think that will be a good catalyst moment for the company when they transition over and they can really start getting well. I'm sure they already are active on the ground, but really just focusing now on the core operations of the company rather than getting the listing over onto the main market there, and get out there and start articulating their story a bit more, because at the moment, with its market cap of 3 million, as a rare earth company, as we said before, there aren't many rare earth investment opportunities out there, and the ones that are worth a lot more than 3 million.
Well, there are, exactly. That they are undervalued, but I think significantly that they've, obviously they have Cedric Simonet, who's based in the area, and now they've got Luis Velosa, who's the project manager there on the ground. So it's not as if they have to wait to get a member of the team out there. They've got people on the ground working there already. So I imagine we are due an operational update from Monte Moyambi in the not too distant future, regardless of whether the LSE listing has taken place or not. But certainly at 3.5 million, it's laughably undervalued, I think.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay, well, thank you very much, Alan, for presenting the investment cases for Coinsilium and Altona Rare Earths. And I wish you a good remainder Sunday afternoon, and I'll catch up with you again in a week's time.
Thank you, Mark. You too.
Thank you for listening to this Stockbox interview. For more information, interviews and videos, visit our website at stockboxmedia.com, or give us a follow on Twitter by searching @StockboxMedia.